glorious, mystique, intricate, passionate, unbelievable, unexplainable, soul-to-soul connection, romance, the works. They want it all. They want an emotional connection, spiritual connection, something that creates euphoria. I don't know if reality can match fantasy, but if they find that soulmate, that twin flame, it is like nothing else. It's what they deeply crave and what they go in search of, and they may spend a lifetime trying to locate it, or they may settle for something that's not quite there, but hey, this will work. That is the thing that could take an ENFJ in and out of relationships. What they don't want is broken, blah, heartache, confusion, disrespect. Would you settle for the best love ever if you were broker than ever, but the love was like none other? Or would you settle for a nice, happy, cozy life like most people have, but the person, that chemistry, that special thing, that thing that you can't explain in words, it was never there, but hey, we've got a decent relationship and it's working? And do you think love is worth it? Especially for an ENFJ whose mind can really work incredibly complicated when it comes to matters of the heart, just like they do with other things. Have you ever had a relationship and you knew something was off, but you continue to stay in the relationship anyway? Why do ENFJs do that? Or do they do that? Sometimes they use that as a learning curve, and then other times they know something isn't right and they're just doing it anyway. But I think ENFJs can kind of perfect their relationship skills and also make decisions against what they know will not work. They can find strength that they didn't think that they had. ENFJs can be great at discerning, but push away what they know for what they wish could be true. ENFJs have higher than average ability to discern and use their intuition. Quite often, they see a person's motives. But why would such a person blessed with these types of abilities and gifts make the wrong decisions when it comes to love? Most ENFJs who have lived long enough can look back and see huge errors that they made when it comes to love. Even ENFJs need to fall in love in order to activate some of their intuitive skills. A lot of intuitive skills are based on experience. How do you know what's wrong or right, or what your biological chemistry likes, if you've never experienced true head over heels love? I can climb the highest mountain, swim the deepest shores. Once they've experienced that deep, madly in love feeling, they could spend an entire lifetime trying to get it back if they lose it, even if it's with a different person. So they start to compromise. Does he or she fit the checklist? Yes, but the chemistry isn't there. Is the chemistry there, but the quote-unquote checklist isn't? The two of you crack jokes and have the funniest time ever, not to mention great conversation. But when it comes to things that are important, like how you live your life financially or spiritually, it's not a match. Or how about the person, and this is the worst, you found a reason to be in a relationship with the person and you can't even be yourself with them. You can't have conversations with them or express how you feel or what you want in life. You walk on eggshells and barely have anything to say because you feel way too shy to be the fun you or the deep you. And yet, do you stay? ENFJs want to connect with someone. I remember hearing a really good looking ENFJ say he had the opportunity to be with someone who was rich, I mean loaded, and had status and beauty, and he turned it down. He thought the girl was so gorgeous, and he could have played her like a fiddle because she was handing herself over to him. But ENFJs have this thing about fast forwarding into the future and playing things out. And I know he didn't want the headache. He explained that he couldn't live up to that type of expectation because he didn't have the type of money that she had, and he just felt like, I'm no match. But I know the truth was also, when you know you're gonna break someone's heart, do you really want to go there? Yes, it could be flattering, it can feel good that, oh my gosh, someone really loves me, they think I'm amazing and I don't feel that connection, but I'm just gonna string them along because I like the accolades that I'm getting from this person. And ENFJ is gonna fast forward through all of that and look at the consequences of sticking in there and smartly decide, this is not a good idea because I'm going to pay for this and I don't want to deal with that. Others are willing to deal with that kind of drama and trauma and, get what they want out of it. But for an ENFJ, it's a waste of time, and they really don't find comfort or happiness in hurting another person, generally speaking. One of the tricks of the subconscious mind is the deeper the connection, the more silky smooth and rose petals and flowers and halos, the more healing you're going to have to do, because you're subconsciously attracting things that you need to correct or that you need healing from. And that creates the difficulty. And so then you end up within a relationship where there's been substantial breakdown in trust, respect, or communication, or a combination of all of those. An ENFJ could be willing to fight and do the work, but is the other person. It's a two-person agreement in order to do that. People might look at the ENFJ and think, they're such a strong NF type, but the truth is they are incredibly sensitive and can get very, very scarred, bruises, bumps, the works. And that is difficult, or can be, for the ENFJ to recover from, depending on the depth of damage that they've experienced. It can be hard to get over because they tend to learn from their mistakes. And if you're learning from mistakes, then you don't want to repeat the same thing twice, which means that if their subconscious mind picks up on, this person is bad news, or I'm getting a bad feeling, they may not step into it. And so they can get in the habit of running from love instead of stepping into it and trying again and experiencing a possibly different outcome. They're going to be more cautious because that pain from a breakup really, really hurts. I remember one time I was going through my head, and this is just, I'm going to tell you this for a reason. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've been treated so badly in relationships. It's been so horrible. It's been awful. The treatment I've received is so bad. And as I was going down this rabbit hole, I could actually feel God step in like, and I heard the question, who treated you badly? And I had to stop and think. I've really been treated very, very well in relationships. So where was I getting that from? I think ENFJs can take on other people's problems to the degree that it becomes their own. They start living out someone else's life, trying it on so that they can avoid it or correct it, but it's not them. It's a deep compassion and caring for the other person. And so they have to be careful that they're not projecting, that they're not taking other people's situations and making it their own. And then I remember after that having these deep thoughts, because ENFJs, man, with some alone time, you go deep. Like you can It's almost like you're sleeping while you're awake. It goes so deep. And I started thinking, oh my gosh, no one ever liked me. You know, guys never liked me. It's like that day God was confronting my irrational beliefs. And all of a sudden, I mean, and not to sound whatever, but a flood of guys from the past just came flooding in, like tons of them that were crazy about me. Like, I started thinking about men who told me they loved me and just all these things, right? So I think ENFJs can actually attract a lot of interests, and maybe all of those experiences escaped me because I had an unconscious need to forget those that I had hurt, because that's just something that's unbearable to an ENFJ. Some people play people for a sport, and I'm not saying that ENFJs never can, because some of them can, and some of them could even be very manipulative, but I think a greater number would be hesitant to drag somebody into an ocean of hurt. It's just not the right thing to do. I think another reason why I pushed those positive memories out of my mind was because maybe I didn't feel, it's not that I didn't feel something special, but it's just there was something that was not going to work. God can confront your irrational beliefs, which is a psychological technique that we all have to do. So if there's something that's causing you to be stuck in love, I want you to challenge those faulty beliefs, because even though you are deeply feeling it, your FE is going crazy, I'm feeling these strong emotions, there could be some fallacy in those emotions that if you don't check them, they could leave you longing for the love that you deserve and that you can actually handle. Love is quite a complex thing, and studies show that actually we know little about love. Love is kind of invisible. There are different phases and moods of love. So the early phase of love is quite different from the later phases. So does that propel you to want to hang in there, push past the initial phases, and see if something amazing develops, even if you initially feel like there's not much attraction there? I don't care who you are. I think most people need different perspectives on love, and they need some support and assistance with love, because we think that we have to be so grown up and, you know, we've got to have this thing all figured out and know what we're doing. But sometimes it's nice to be honest and say, I don't know what the heck I'm doing right now. I don't understand what we're doing. I don't understand the phase that we're in. And I think sometimes ENFJs will grapple at finding the answers and having to know and having to present as confident and like, I know what I'm doing. And sometimes the truth is you're figuring some things out. You're with another person, and every person that you're with is going to create a new dynamic, a little twist on things. So check out my book, Flip the Script on Love, if you're struggling in that area. And I'm going to give you my ENFJ perspective on love and try to help you over some dips and some valleys so that you can get the love that you want. It's on Amazon by Tamara Hunter Zyon. Put the link in the description box, and I'll also put the link to one of my ENFJ playlists so that you can understand yourself deeper and better in that way as well. So, my fellow friends, love you lots. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.